gentlemen, bienvenue. Welcome to this, the grand finale of the 65th Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. Tonight, the most coveted, the most competitive, the most inspiring Lions. We've got titanium, we've got creative effectiveness, glass, the Grand Prix for good, film, sustainable development goals of the United Nations recognized with Lions. And also those very special accolades that recognize our collective creativity. Independent Agency of the Year, Agency of the Year, Holding Company Network, and those very, very important recognitions every year. Lionheart and Lion of St. Mark. So, an incredible show for you tonight. In the next 2 hours, you are getting a Masters in Creativity. Let's get it all started with the Chairman-elect of Cannes Lions, Mr. Philip Thomas.
Good evening, everybody. After 5 incredible days of learning, inspiration and celebration, we've arrived at the final award show of the festival. Everyone here at Cannes Lions believes in the power of creativity, not only to impact our industry, but to change the world. Here we can share a vision for the future of our industry and learn from the diverse experiences and perspectives of others. Diversity allows world-class creativity to flourish across many brands, businesses and agencies represented here. The Lions are the ultimate symbol of creative excellence. And we're here tonight to celebrate the absolute best of the best. We're also here to honour the inspiring people behind the work who make it all possible, through their commitment, their passion, their courage, because as we all know, this is for sure a people business. Every year, the Lions set a global benchmark for creative excellence, and every year we welcome more new friends to the Lions family. So let's take a little global tour of this year's festival as we move from entrant all the way up to Grand Prix. It's the very first time in our history we've had an entry from Zimbabwe. It's the It is the very first time in our history that we've had a Lion winner from Luxembourg. It is the very first time in history that we've had a gold Lion winner from Morocco. And it is the very first time we've ever had a Grand Prix winner from Ireland. So I was just thinking, how cool is that? Enjoy the show. Thank you very much.
And we begin with titanium. Just for those of you not familiar with this, you really have to have a game-changing campaign here. These entries need to be groundbreaking, literally, in branded communications. They need to be provocative, boundary-busting and setting, envy-inspiring, and really taking the industry forward into new direction. So, let's welcome the president of the jury of this. Titanium, the best of the best. She is Chief Creative Officer of Wieden & Kennedy, Colleen de Courcy. Welcome, Colleen. So, what does it take to win a Titanium?
Oh, well, you know, Dan Wieden created this category in 2003. It was to recognize work that causes the industry to stop in its tracks and to reconsider the way forward. But actually, what he specifically said was, it's that kind of work where you sit there and it's like, what the fuck? That's what you're looking for. Where the shit did that come from? So to every single young and hungry creative who is sitting upstairs, I know, in the nosebleed seats tonight, I say, do that. Because that's what this crazy job is about. It's not about the money, it's not about the operations, it is not about the business cases. The pieces that we awarded in titanium this year showed the imagination, the craft, and the ideas that great creative thinking uncovers, and it always has. They were served up in new and modern and interesting ways, but the way forward, it's this. Do not follow blindly into the corporatization of creative ambition. Don't talk about scale and delivery. Focus on where the shit did that come from, and that will lift us all.
Of course, no bronze, no silver, no gold, just titaniums. What that mean? Titaniums. First one, won by Apple. It's called Today at Apple.
This is the largest product that Apple produces. So if you think of it, the hardware, which is the architecture of the store. The software is what happens in the store and how we basically turn on Apple Music and the App Store. We call the software Today at Apple.
Welcome to Today at Apple.
歡迎大家 Today at Apple.
你嚟到 Today at Apple.
And there's a more dimensional take on the genius. New staffers specialized in music and photography called creative pros. Everybody's invited, and it becomes almost a community hub. Did you connect with other people in the community that maybe you didn't know before?
Titanium winners, Carl Heisman, and Hasri Batwa. It's a tie-dye.
This year, Top won the Super Bowl by doing something that's never been done before, turning every ad into a Tide ad. This is how we did it.
Yeah, just your typical Super Bowl cover. Right? Or a hilarious mirror ad. It's a Tide ad.
What?
It's a Tide ad. Look at those clean clothes. What else would this be an ad for? A razor?
No. Tide ad.
So, does this make every Super Bowl ad a Tide ad?
I think it does.
Within seconds, hashtag Tide ad began trending.
This was the best ad of Super Bowl.
And I'm wearing a white shirt making this.
By the end of the event, we claimed 53 Super Bowl ads without ever showing even one single sting. Because by now, you know it.
Whenever you see clothes this clean, that's a Tide ad.
Penultimate titanium, big win this week at Cannes. Drugify, New York, Covert Creative Santa Monica, New York and Sydney, and a range of production companies for Tourism Australia. Dundee, the son of a legend, returns home.
G'day, losers.
The internet lit up when Chris Hemsworth appeared in a trailer for a brand new Crocodile Dundee film.
There's an official website and everything, DundeeMovie.com. They're like, what is this? I actually want to see it.
But it's massive here in Times Square. It features Margot Robbie, Hemsworth, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe.
Speculation is building on whether the movie may just be part of a Super Bowl ad.
Midway through the commercial, they start talking about
37,000 miles of pristine beach, mate.
and then Dan McBride says,
Wait, hold up. This isn't a movie.
No.
It's a tourism ad for Australia.
Yes.
it was a commercial. Chris Hemsworth's Dundee movie has been outed as a big marketing stunt. These fine men and women of Australia, they all stepped up and they all have done their good for their country.
All for a Super Bowl ad. That's going to be one of the best in history.
Really the best Crocodile Dundee since Crocodile Dundee.
Really?
From down under to top of the world, career. Life is joy, any creators, and the rest of the team here at
flying. Took by surprise, can't get shoot when I shake them skies. Make thunder, drive from hunger to reach out for hope I wonder, got my mind under question. With the weather I'll bring you guessing. The lessons fast, still stressing from the stars. To pleasure, it's clever that I get right bar. And I left your friend right past, wherever the wreck just like a mask. Cause I can't keep trying when I'm out home. These truths don't pull.
From more than 32,000 entries to now this, the Titanium Grand Prix, won in 2018 by host vast raid agencies on Zoo, the Pool Collective, all in Sydney, along with Yakfu in Melbourne, the campaign for the Palau Legacy Project. We're going to have a look at the in-flight film for Palau Pledge.
All visitors now need to sign an environmental pledge to gain admittance into Palau. Stamped into the passport of international arrivals, the pledge is a formal promise to Palau's children. But we didn't stop at the passport stamp. We redesigned the tourism experience via an in-flight film.
One day, a giant came to visit our home. He stomped on our reefs, gobbled up our precious animals, took fruit from our gardens, even stuffed his pockets with turtle shells. But we found out that he didn't mean to hurt us. We're happy to have you, he said. Please understand, if you keep traveling, chasing, and snatching everything you love about our home and everything we love about it, will be gone. We took his hand and taught him how to take care of our island paradise.
Titanium Grand Prix winners Seamus Higgins, Laura Alderton, Darren Spadander Friedman, Monique Bardami, Anthony Melga, and John Austin. Today, Digital Young Lions. On Tuesday evening, the United Nations, team behind Share the Meal app, challenged these young lions to put together a campaign that motivates millennials to download and donate through their app. Our thanks to the jury members who devoted all this time to go through the entries. We do thank you. The winners, bronze, Mexico. Silver, La France. The winners, el equipo de Costa Rica. Felicidades. their entry. And here it is. Chief Marketing Officer of Burger King, Fernando Machado. Fernando, what can you tell us about creative effectiveness and what you discovered this year?
Look, I think that if you are sitting here, you do believe creativity delivers better business, brand results overall. And that's the key at the heart of this category. Our kick-ass jury was looking for a strong correlation or strong link between the ideas that you're judging, the business results, the cultural impact, and of course, the bravery behind all those things. So tonight, I'll be awarding with codes a campaign that had absolutely no product change and put the product at the center, an idea that basically like shows deep understanding of the insight and drive behavior change. In the Grand Prix, which is kind of like it was unanimous, by the way, the whole jury voted for that piece as a Grand Prix. It's a campaign that's not a campaign. It's much bigger than that. It's a campaign that is a solution and shows very strong partnership between client and agency, which, as you guys know, is core if you want to do really good work.
So let's have a look. But first, as you were taking your seats, we did reveal the bronze and the silver winners. There were 12 bronze lions and 8 silvers. Chaps, a lion is a lion. So this is for you. Two creative effectiveness goals here. And the first one goes to Colenso, Vídeo, Stockholm and Impact PR all in Auckland for Mars Pedigree, the Child Replacement Program.
I am so proud to be able to share this award-winning piece of work with you today. It is the quintessential example of strategy making things innately more creative and creative being innately more strategic. This case is based on a very fundamental yet simple human insight, and more importantly, how this insight made what is an everyday product transcend the category and drive consistent sales towards that brand.
Ollie Downs, Marketing Director. Next gold, won by Goodby, Silverstein and Partners in San Francisco, OMD USA in New York, the marketing arm in Los Angeles, Ketchup, San Francisco, and plenty of other production sporting companies for Frito-Lay, Cheetos, New Zealand.
Hi, Crystal Wicks, Chief Strategy Officer at Vídeo. We couldn't be more excited about our gold winners. These are great examples of creativity overcoming a declining category. Cheetos is an excellent example of how to reframe and rethink a product with no new innovation. They were able to excite, enthuse, and drive demand for their business. Well done.
Margaret Johnson and Zach Canfield in North Carolina. Grant Effectiveness Grand Prix 2018, won by Ogilvy, Mumbai for ITC Salon, Heavy Hands, Chopsticks.
We're very proud of this Grand Prix because it really is creativity in its truest sense, because it solves what seems like an old, recurring, persistent, not new problem in a way that's very interesting, new and compelling. The simplicity of it was just captivating. I mean, the results speak for themselves. We as a jury were unanimously in agreement over this being the Grand Prix.
Mr. George Pandey, Salvador Samaka, Chef, Raga Ashka, and Hanan Malik. Congratulations, Grand Prix winners and Fernando and jury members. Thank you. Grand Prix for Good now. As you know, entries for charities and not-for-profit are not eligible to win a Grand Prix in their sections, which is why we have this theme, Grand Prix for Good. Chairman-elect of Cannes Lions, Mr. Philip Thomas, joining me back to reveal this. And this year's Grand Prix for Good goes to BWN Dentsu Haystack, Finch and Rumble Studios, all based in Sydney, and their campaign for the ALS Association, Project Revoice.
Creating awareness and being an advocate is what I wanted to do.
Every August, until a cure.
One of the hardest things about ALS is losing the ability to speak. I don't want to sound like a computer. I want to sound like me.
To give Pat his voice back, we had to look beyond existing technology, which limits patients to pre-recorded phrases or words mechanically stitched together.
This is my voice, which I spent an hour a day, 4 months recording.
With less than 2 hours of Ice Bucket interviews, we used the custom deep learning algorithm to analyze the unique DNA of Pat's voice, completely recreating it and integrating it with his eye-tracking device. For the first time in over a year, Pat could speak freely and naturally in his own voice.
Time to say goodbye to this computerized voice.
It's a strange feeling saying your first words a second time. It's like you don't even realize how powerful, how personal, and just how unique your voice really is. Until it's taken from you. Guess who's back, bitches?
It's just highly emotional stuff. It's absolutely life-changing. They have him back, you know? To hear his voice again, that is just a marvel.
This new technology will bring new hope to thousands of sufferers, both here and around the world.
Find out more by going to the website projectrevoice.org.
This will change how people live with ALS forever.
As Fran was saying, this year's Lion of St. Mark is very, very special because for the first time we're honouring 2 brothers, and it is also the first time we've honoured Asian creativity And this year, the award goes to Piyush and Prasoon Pandey. Piyush Pandey is known to many of us, of course, but he's the executive chairman and creative director of Ogilvy in India, and is commonly referred to as the godfather of Indian advertising. His brother Prasoon is a director with a vision that has graced hundreds of movies and commercials, respected and admired across the industry for their insightful and nuanced work that embraces the culture and the spirit of India. I'm thrilled that we can celebrate tonight their contributions to the industry on this global stage. Piyush Pandey won his first Lions, 2 Gold Lions, for his work on anti-smoking, ironically, on anti-smoking campaign in 2002, marking the start of a period of worldwide recognition. His work was instrumental in popularising advertising campaigns produced in Hindi during the 1980s and the 1990s, heralding a shift in Indian creativity and building its reputation all around the world. His younger brother Prasoon has repeatedly featured in the global rankings of top industry film directors, and he is one of the most awarded creatives in Indian history. Prasoon also directed the ad that won India's very first Lion, Ericsson's One Black Coffee, back in 1996, which rather wonderfully was co-written by his brother Piyush. So, I know it's a great story. So let's take a look at some of their work.
So well deserved and so well earned, and how beautiful it is that brothers receive it together.
Change agents, industry influencers, trailblazers for communication rooted deep in local culture.
Prasoon, Piyush, unbelievable, and overdue and so well deserved.
Every single piece of work that Piyush and Prasoon started creating was both fire under our backsides and at the same time the light at the end of the tunnel, if it's possible to be both.
Basically telling us about things which we see ourselves many times but fail to notice what you notice.
The excitement which Piyush and Prasoon get through Indian advertising is something which is unmatchable.
One of the most prominent campaigns was the United Nations campaign against polio in India. And because of Piyush's incessant drive and creativity, that today I'm able to sit in front of you and say that India is polio-free.
Your work has significantly contributed to changing and getting India rid of its post-colonial mindset. I think that's huge.
And I want proper parliamentary behavior.
We are trying to pass the bill for the rural development. And the structure of the bill is...
You bring intense passion, yet the fun never stops. And the signature laughter never stops. Anything that you do looks so deceptively simple.
But creativity alone cannot explain the kind of work they have produced. It may have something to do with their personality, which is down to earth, warm-hearted, and mischievous.
The most amazing thing about them is that they've used the culture of their country pridefully to make the imagery that they've done over the years. They've used the humor, the beauty, the humanity.
Fevicol, the glue product whose bonding is so strong, it reminds me of the Pandey Brotherhood. It's very tight and it's inseparable.
And the fact that you're brothers makes it all that much more special, but then I also hear your sister is far better than both of you, so...
I'm proud just to know you. Congratulations.
It's wonderful to be here, and thank you, Phil and Can, for including us in a list of luminaries that we have admired for decades. My life has been a bit of a dream run. If I was to shut my eyes and rewind that dream, what do I see? And I'll try and capture that. I see my parents and my sisters flagging me off on this run. And as I start running, I see millions of Indians cheering me in 16 different languages. I can see on their faces that they're cheering me. I don't understand the languages. As I go along, I see a lot of wonderful clients who are handing over bottles of water and lemonade to me. And as I run along, I see my family again. It's grown in size. Now my sisters have children and grandchildren. They're waving at me. I can also see my wife with 6 dogs who are wagging their tails. And she's egging me on to keep running.
First, I'd like to thank that particular lady or gentleman up in heaven who ensured that both Piyush and I were born into a really, really large family, living in a really, really tiny house. By the time Piyush and I came on the scene, all the 4 corners of the house were taken up by our 7 sisters. One was, learning classical dance somewhere, there was somebody who was learning classical music somewhere, somebody was rehearsing lines for their theatre performance. My father was teaching someone how to recite poetry in a certain genre, and my mum was, discussing, powerful women characters in literature. It was like being born in a very, very cramped art school.
Let's continue with Glass, the Lion for Change. Now this celebrates our culture-shifting creativity, our ideas are intended to change the world. This is work which addresses gender inequality, imbalance or injustice through the conscious representation of gender in advertising. Please welcome the President of the Glass Lions jury, the Founder and Chief Executive Officer of Badger and Winters, USA, Madonna Badger. Madonna, tell us about Glass this year. Good evening. What was the overall theme guiding the judges?
Well, good evening, everyone. This floor is as slick as glass, just FYI, if anybody falls. So here was the experience, the theme of this year's Glass Lion. At Cannes, we see it, be it. We see equal in the girlfriend. We see her, we free the bid, and our unstereotype alliance empowers me. 3%? No. More like me is more like it. And yes, she is equal. And yes, we are definitely women, not objects. In the Glass Lion jury, we stand by tough moms. We are a force of nature. And in our dress of respect, we need a man like you to end the rape tax. We go to technical school as a Beitu. It's my name, my game, as we play in our lioness crest. Watching the worst soap opera, we know that no conditions apply. And we remember our blood is normal. And me too. Uh-oh, looks like time's up.
As you know, the proceeds from all the Glass Lion entries are donated to causes fighting for gender inequality. This year, the entry fees will be split 50-50 between the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and the UN Women. 5 bronzes given up to 3 countries and 3 silvers. Congratulations, you're here with us. And 2 Glass Lions to give out the first one. It's the work of Pages, Vídeo, and OND Dominicana in Santo Domingo for UNICEF, changing the law on child marriage, the worst soap opera.
In the Dominican Republic, 37% of women get married before turning 18, and 12% before their 15th birthday. To make matters worse, the law actually allows it, but a big part of the country is blind to this reality. UNICEF asks for our help to make this a matter of national interest and demand action from the government to change the law. To make this a reality, we turn to the most watched media and TV content in the country, telenovelas or soap operas, and created one of the first Dominican ones, a 10-episode story about love, but not the usual kind. It was about the lusty love of an adult man living with an underage girl, and the raw violence and abuse that followed, all while her family was unable to do anything about it. And celebrities, along with tens of thousands of Dominicans, took the cause as their own. The time to pass a new law for a new era was finally here. The worst soap opera became proof that when we finally see the problem, we can begin to do something about it.
Second Glass Lion in 2018 comes from India. FCB India, Mumbai, Times of India, Shidukela. No conditions apply.
Every year, 35 million Bengali women sing and dance to celebrate the power of Goddess Durga through a national festival called Shidukela. But
introducing Blood Normal, a campaign some hated. But that's no surprise. We live in a world that hides periods. But the way to end the taboo is to normalize it. Normal period blood in a normal pad demonstration. Normal period pain. Period sex. Men buying pads and women asking for them normally. We produce designer period underwear with French fashion house Dessous. Pad-shaped lilos for influencers to share without shame. Ran period-positive workshops in schools. Blood Normal is working. Empathy is killing shame. Through our own media, we made it onto the broadcast channels they tried to ban us from. Blood Normal is helping create a new normal for billions of women and girls.
Grand Prix, anti-gender winners, Nadia Rostov, Margot Leroy, and Nicholas Harris.
Take you away. Hey, I don't really need to take what the world hands me in a plate. Feel me? I grind for mine. When it's time to shine, I'm Mr.
Grand Prix anti-gender winners, congratulations. And Madonna and jury members, thank you. Thank you for your selection this year for Glass. We move right along to Sustainable Development Goals Alliance. The Celebrate Creative Problem Solving. Entries need to demonstrate how they've contributed or advanced the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development across people, planet and prosperity. The inaugural president of this is well known to all of us, Executive Chairman, Global Chief Creative Officer of LeoBurnett Worldwide, Mark Tutzel. Mark, another first for you, kicking off this new category. What can you share with us about what went on? What were you looking for?
Well, good evening. There is only one true winner in this category, and that's humankind. Our world needs action, and the Sustainable Development Goals are a catalyst for the action our world needs. It's a blueprint for our planet and an ambitious agenda to realise a better world. This new line exists to shine a light on creativity as a force for good in the world. Created to uncover and celebrate those ideas that penetrate the zeitgeist of the people. This award galvanises the broader industry to take action, highlighting and celebrating work that can make a better world for tomorrow. The combined power of brands, advertising networks, governments, and the UN is formidable as we work together for the common goal. Our goal is to make the SDG logo, this logo, as famous as the Olympic rings and synonymous with world-changing creativity. The inaugural collection of Lion winners showcase a raft of brilliant thinking and valuable ideas that have already affected enormous positive change. The category attracted 900 entries. And this year's Grand Prix winner is a humankind idea so fresh, new, and ambitious that it was a clear standout. It's the perfect example of new world thinking that we need. An act, not an ad. An idea that is fresh, actionable, and most importantly, can deliver real cultural impact at scale. Of course, we have more to accomplish, and 2030 is a mere 12 years away. So I think it's incumbent on all of us to get to work as quickly as possible. Together we can create the change that we need. Thank you.
And as Mark mentioned, 900 entries. It was a very competitive kick-off year. 15 bronzes and 10 silvers. You're here, most of you. Congratulations. The goals, just a handful. In climate action, first goal ever announced. Maruri Greki, Guayaquil, for the legal representation of the elements of nature. This is for Sambito, nature represented.
Nature represented. The first time in history that nature is guaranteed legal rights and a legal defense in court.
In the small country of Ecuador, a new constitution was born. And that constitution is the first in the history of the world that gives legal rights to nature under fundamental primary law.
Together with the National Bar Association, we called on lawyers both nationally and internationally to donate pro bono hours for the defense of Ecuadorian nature. Nature represented makes it possible to choose from a list of ecosystems and species and allocate hours for the legal defense. Almost 4,000 lawyers already signed up, with a staggering $200 million worth of billable hours ready to be released. Today, Ecuador has become a massive contributor to the United Nations Global Sustainability Development Goals.
Felicidades,
So we found a way to ensure they couldn't, by turning the country-sized trash patch into an official country. Introducing the Trash Isles. On World Oceans Day, the Plastic Oceans Foundation and Landmark submitted an application to the United Nations to recognise the Trash Isles as an official country, because under the laws of the UN, other countries are then obliged to clean it up. The Trash Isles had everything an official country needs. A currency called debris, a passport for new citizens, and a national flag.
I'm Judy Davis, the Trash Isles Queen.
I will be the best secretary of your events that I can.
The Trash Isles put the plastic problem firmly on the map.
The founding fathers of the Trash Isles, Michael Hughes and This is for life on land. Félicitations Marcel, prodigieuse, iconoclaste dans chiffres comme DMBM, tout sur Paris, les clients et Carrefour, Black Supermarket.
These seeds can grow healthier and tastier varieties of cereals, fruits and vegetables, but they are illegal. Almost all the authorized species belong to the agrochemical industry. Hybrid, pesticide-resistant seeds developed in laboratories. A lucrative deal for them, a disaster for taste and biodiversity. Carrefour presents the Black Supermarket. Illegal black markets in our supermarkets to make consumers discover these illegal varieties and sell the illegal products grown from the illegal seeds, facing legal penalties. We created a campaign to show the absurdity of the law. After 8 months of intense legal battle, in April 2018, a new law was voted, allowing farmers to grow their seeds free. After 40 years of prohibition, a big win for farmers, consumers, and biodiversity.
Bravo, l'équipe de Marseille!
For good. All visitors now need to sign an environmental pledge to gain admittance into Palau. Stamped into the passport of international arrivals, the pledge is a formal promise to Palau's children.
Children of Palau.
I take this
pledge to preserve and protect your beautiful and unique island home.
But we didn't stop at the passport stamp. We redesigned the tourism experience via a website, an in-flight film, a passport insert, local education, business accreditation, signage, penalties and collateral. Influencers helped inspire people to take the pledge online in solidarity with Palau.
Are you already seeing tourists behaving differently? The awareness level is very high.
But its biggest impact is local in Palau.
I hope my children can see the beautiful place as I see today.
They're back as Grand Prix winners. Seamus Higgins, Laura Udivina, Dan Spillett, Anthony Friedman, Monique Alvani, and Nana, and Thomas Stewart. Thank you, and thank you, jury members. You did put in a lot of hours to bring us this fantastic selection. Next, it's Creative Marketeer of the Year, and this recognizes a brand that believes and invests in creativity in a demonstrable way over the years. Joining me now to celebrate this, the Managing Director of Caroline's Festival, Mr. Joseph Parker.
Good evening. The Creative Marketer of the Year award honors a brand that consistently delivers outstanding creative storytelling, challenges the status quo, and sets a global benchmark of excellence. This year, we are delighted to present this award to an organization that has changed our lives and the way that this world runs. Google. Yes. Alongside its obvious achievements as a tech company, Google has crafted a reputation as a brand who delivers marketing campaigns that are bold, courageous, and creative at heart. If there is any doubt about the link of technology and creativity, these are the guys. Over the history of the festival, Google has taken home an incredible 131 Lions, including the 4 they won this week. Groundbreaking campaigns like the New York Times VR, Google DeepMind AlphaGo, Google Cardboard, Google Voice Search, and Hilltop Reimagined for Coca-Cola, all of which Grand Prix. And these are clear examples of Google's drive to constantly achieve the best creative excellence. Google also serves as a global beacon for diversity and representation, leading a number of initiatives within the creative industries that I think you are all proud of, like the Google Creative Campus at this year's festival. So to ensure that the future of the marketing industry is driven by a variety of backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences, because creativity only flourishes through diversity and a variety of experiences. So let's take a look at some of their awe-inspiring work.
Juno Theater presents Aqua. Why use Gmail?
My owner uses Gmail. He can find me at any time.
If you can take it apart, if you can understand it, you can make it better.
Okay, playing now. So I can take as many as I want?
Justin Bieber!
Hey Google. Hey Google.
Hey Google. Okay, here they are. Now when I hit this, they'll be able to see us. I'm gonna get in here close so we can be seen in the webcam.
Don't you fucking
Yes, I get it.
We can see you guys.
You got it?
Hi, my name is Billy.
It's just like a president did. It's supposed to be Marvin Van Buren.
This is Nick. This is Cassie. And this is the lifeline all these people bravely called to find hope.
However bad it is now, it gets better. And it can get great.
You'll be fine.
Alright, let's do this thing already.
So, it is my true honor to welcome on stage Google's CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, Lorraine Toohill.
Thank you so much, Jose, and the whole Catalans team for supporting us once we finally got our act together and started doing great work. It's been the journey. I joined Google 15 years ago And shortly after I joined, Lara and Sergey said, we're not a conventional company, we never intend to become one. And we've gotten bigger, but 15 years on, I still see the same scrappy, exciting, passionate company that I fell in love with 15 years ago. And we've learned a lot along the way. We had to work out what does marketing look like in a company like Google. And it really, for me, I think for all of us, our single most important job is to have empathy. We have an absolute focus on the user, and it's about understanding how people think, what they care about, how we can be helpful and relate to them. Andy Burnt, our creative spiritual leader, my partner in crime, taught me how important it was to always hold the bar high and to never settle. That at the end of the day, all that matters is the work. All the world sees is the work. That's all they see. And really, what we think about a lot and care about a lot are our values. Know who you are. You're nothing without values. It's your true north in life. I joined Google because of our values, and I'm still there today for that reason. Know what you stand for as a company, and let it shine through your work always. But really, it's all about the people. I'm so proud of the incredible team we've built at Google, the incredible marketing force that we are in the company now. I have the absolute privilege of working with brilliant minds and bigger hearts every single day, and it's such a joy. But I'm equally proud of the team we built around us. We work with hundreds of agencies all over the world, and they're all truly amazing. You do such amazing work for us all the time. I have to mention a few of those agencies who've become extraordinary partners for us over many years. Droga5, 72 and Sunny, Huge, Anomaly, RGA, PhD, and a special call out to BBH and Essence, who have both put up with us for 13 long years. This has been an amazing journey with all of you, and the one thing that all of you have in common is that they've been with us for many years. We're not an easy client. We don't bring easy briefs or problems. Thank you for always rising to the challenge. You are fearless, you push us, you question us. Your extraordinary imagination makes us better every single day. Now, every time I come to Cannes, I see the next generation come through. Restless, ambitious, fearless. I know you're all up there somewhere. I get even more excited. We had the joy of working with amazing creatives, diverse creatives, all week in the Google Creative Campus. And I feel like we all have a responsibility to support talented newcomers who bring different perspectives. Without diversity, there is no creativity. And lastly, it's only the second woman to receive this award in 25 years. Sometimes I feel a little lonely. So I'm very hopeful that there'll be many more women on a stage like this receiving this award. Thank you.
Creative marketer of the year is Google. Of the year 2018. Here we do honour the independent agency that has amassed the most points across all entry sessions the entire week. The intention of this prize is, of course, to encourage the spirit of creative entrepreneurship that has helped to forge so many outstanding agencies in the past. An independent agency is defined as an agency owned by its own management or independent shareholders and not associated with any holding company or enlisted entity. In Kennedy, London. Runners up, Droga5, New York. 2018 Independent Agency of the Year, Jungenbach, Hamburg, Herzliche Glückwünsche. Dort expected Alex, Dennis Stewart, Maria Hayes, Anna Lipschner, Robert Pfizer, Christina Reinko, Alain Alpha, Michelle Dolischenko, Austin Campbell, and Axel Spendler-Kimmer. the Palme d'Or. Now, this is a special accolade that goes to the production company that has collected the most points across all the film-based entry sections, such as film, craft, entertainment, and film in Lions Health as well. And the winner, in 5th place, The Mill, USA. 4th place, Blur Films, Spain. In 3rd place, The Corn Shop, USA. 2nd place, Revolver, Willow in Australia. Palme d'Or 2018, NJZ, USA. That through innovative use of commercial brand power has made a significant and positive difference to people all the planet. Please welcome the Chairman of Cannes Lions, Terry Savage, to present.
The Cannes Lion Heart is presented to an individual who has innovatively harnessed commercial brand power to make a significant and positive difference to the people or to the planet. Tonight we are delighted to present this very special award to Paul Polman, CEO of Unilever, in recognition of his commitment to long-term sustainable business growth, ensuring sustainability is truly at the heart of Unilever's operation. Paul's commitment is an inspiration to other business leaders. He has made Unilever a shining example of what can be achieved when creativity and innovation are integrated into business. Paul became the CEO of Unilever in 2009. Since then, he has led an ambitious plan to overhaul the company's environmental footprint and increase its positive social impact through the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan. Add to this his work with the UN, the Sustainable Development Goals, and Unilever's co-founding of the Unstereotype Alliance. Let's take a look at some of his achievements.
Business increasingly understands that there is no business case in enduring poverty. We've decided to embrace a radical business model for any company in this world right now. You have to really change the way you think, where you actually can show as a company that you're making a positive contribution by solving issues. You see our brands increasingly becoming movements for social change. Let me just emphasize that this is not a business plan, this is our strategy. Hugely energizing for our people, and one of the reasons why so many want to join us.
मेरा बच्चा 5 साल का हो गया।
इतना सब 5 साल में कौन सी बड़ी बात है?
बड़ी बात है मैडम, ये गुंडापा का पहला बच्चा है जो 5 साल की उम्र तक पहुंचा है।
We see opportunities to grow our business, to deepen our relationships with consumers and suppliers, and to help protect and develop the long-term interest of our business as well as that of the planet in which we live. Please join me in welcoming criticized everybody. It's obviously an honor to achieve this, to receive this award. But I would dedicate it to all the people that work so hard to make this a better world for all. And it's great to see that people like Richard Curtis or Al Gore or Bono or Blake were some of the previous people that got recognized. It's interesting because many of us just came back from the G7 in Canada, where the heads of state were debating on how can we make this world work better, and they were talking about stronger, more sustainable, more balanced, and then more inclusive growth. And there was one country, not to mention, who objected to the word inclusive. Still today, debating if we should have inclusive growth or not is actually a sad thing to be telling you here in front of you. We all know that to make this world work, to make this world function for all, it's absolutely imperative that we don't leave anybody behind. I'm very pleased to see coming in here that you're starting to recognize the Sustainable Development Goals and contributions you can make as an industry to these Sustainable Development Goals. It literally has as objective to irreversibly eradicate poverty and do that in a more sustainable and equitable way. It literally has as objective to leave no one behind. It is about giving as much weight to the human and social capital, if you want to, than the financial capital that we all seem to be fixated on. It's serving the interest of the billions of people, not just a few billionaires. Yet, unfortunately, in this world there are too many who think the priority is to think about themselves. Greed might be good for them, but I think for all of us there comes a point in time that we discover that generosity is better. Now, I believe that this industry has a key role to play, all of you, in addressing these issues that we need to tackle to ensure that we have this equitable growth. Leading a purposeful life is nothing else than a connected life. Caring, being part of, a deep understanding and a deep caring with empathy for others. Knowing darn well that if you invest in others, you end up being better off yourselves as well. I actually can think of no better group to play that role of connectors, if you want to, than all of you here. After all, your industry is an industry of connectors. And to use your skills, your ingenuity, to use your creativity, to cut through all of this and to make these links that are increasingly more important. Links between brands and purpose. Links between responsible business and equitable growth. Links between today's needs and, yes, the needs of future generations. And all people in this world want it. They're crying out loud for it. I mean, the evidence overwhelmingly is there. You just have to be prepared to listen. And yet, in recent referendums or elections in many countries around the world, it seems that we have forgotten to know how to do this. And yes, we equally have to listen with a bit of courage. That doesn't only mean being bold or sometimes taking uncomfortable decisions. For sure, that's part of it. But actually, courage comes from the French word heart, cœur. To have the courage is also to listen with the heart, to speak from the heart, and to act from the heart. And that is how you get purpose into your business. And that is how you get sustainable and long-term performance. But you can only do that if you have a strong basis of trust, which sadly is in short supply today in this world. And hate, I say, in the industry that you represent as well. That's why I was very pleased reading a little bit from a distance and coming in here this evening, the debates that you've had this week in Cannes to take active or proactive steps to deal with issues of transparency in your industry, measurements, the role of influencers, verification of ads, and yes, responsible social sites. All important issues that we do need to tackle with a sense of urgency, because after all, you cannot build that trust if you don't have that transparency. But wouldn't it be better if increasingly we start to proactively shape the transformation of our industry and not just reacting to the many issues that we see? I'm especially pleased to see that you're starting to recognize some wonderful ideas, advertising that you have here to drive the sustainable development goals. But it's far short of what this world is desperately asking for. We know that increasingly consumers want brands and businesses that positively impact on society, that improve their environment, that treats people the way they would like themselves to be treated. In other words, they don't just want products to buy, which is still the predominant form of communication in this industry, but they want ideas to buy into, increasingly being part of movements for good. And yes, they need help in getting there. And you, as connectors, are better placed than anybody else. So please don't wait. Take the lead. Few people in this world are better placed than you all combined. On top of that, looking in the audience, many of you are millennials. It's your future. Don't just demand a seat at the table. Demand the table and take charge. Bring this to a new level of communication. Bring that creativity and challenge yourselves to feel a little bit uncomfortable as you go into this journey. Make this industry one that shapes a better future. One that we can all again be proud of. After all, if we open our minds and listen with our hearts, we can all be lion hearts. So thanks again for this wonderful recognition, and thanks again for your journey of life. Good luck. Thank you.
Company of the year. Of course, given to the company has obtained the highest score for all entries across all sections in the festival in 2018. In third place, Interpublic Group. Second place, WPP. Holding Company of the Year 2018, Omnicom. Wendy Clark, Chief Executive Officer, DVD Worldwide, Universal Team. Before we get to film, and if you leave to the right so we can get on. Thank you. Before we get on to film, we got network of the year and agency. Network. This is calculated by adding all the points accumulated across all intersections to each agency network globally. The results: 2018 network of the year. Third place, DDB worldwide. Second place, it's Ogilvy. Network of the Year 2018, BDDO Worldwide. James McCloud, Lee Sanchez, Here are the results. In third place, BBDO, New York. In second place, AMV, BBDO, London. Agency of the Year 2018, Adam and Eve, DDB, London. Well on chops, on up to 30. There we go. Red Crow, Tammy, Enya, and Nelson van Sutherland, Simon Hoon, Jackie Lindstrom, Ben Shaw, and Jim Watts with us tonight. DDB, London, Agency of the Year 2018.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm very lucky and happy to meet a group of intelligent and very smart and generous people that helped me to curate the best real film in 2018. There are some elements that we brought to discussion that was very important. The brand has to set the beat of the storytelling. Also, very strong ideas, and you need to feel that you have to watch and watch and watch again. Also, I encourage them to bring some new palettes to the films that our industry is missing, like humor, like nonsense, things that can captivate the brain, the heart, and especially the fingers, so people can share. Because today's world, to have a film that's memorable is not enough anymore. It has to be shareable too. People select the contents, and we add values to the brands by letting them share those. So I'm very happy to see the real.
Let's have a look. But first, as you know, Cannes Lions has launched We Love the Work, and that's where we want you to have a look at us tomorrow morning at all these bronzes and silvers But there were plenty. We had 42 bronzes given to 14 countries and 20 silver lions to 9 countries. So, still precious metals, those two. So, a round of applause to all of them. Now, we begin with our celebrations with the gold winners in film. This is for not-for-profit charity. Felicidades, Señora Rushmore, with Freelance 4, Blur Producciones in Madrid, for International Committee for the Red Cross. Very powerful, this. Hope.
بس انت بطل ما هيك ها؟ يا برضه البطل انت جاي يا ماما جاي وحياتي جاي على توصل سالي وين رايحين؟ لوين؟ رايحين لمطرح ما خلقتك عن جد؟ ايه وحياتك عم شبيك وجع كله وياك؟ ماشي الحال؟ والله بعرف يا حبيبي يلا وصلنا لا قلبي متعب بفتح عليك فتح عليك الطريق طلع في غني انا عندي بيسي لا يا حبيبي لا يا حبيبي
Film masterpiece, won by Cummins and Partners, Sydney and Melbourne, with History Will Be Kind and Revolver, Win Rourke in Sydney. Go